Hey guys, Janet here with Radiant Wanderings. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and stay a while. And as always, if you find anything in here helpful or useful, please remember to give a big thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that I'm producing quality content for you guys. Today we are talking about 10 things I absolutely loved about Norwegian's newest ship, the Encore. I got invited to go there for 2 days. It was docked in New York City. We didn't cruise anywhere. I just hung out on the ship and tried out the amenities, food, and the drinks and the entertainment. And let me tell you, after 2 days, I still hadn't done it all. I didn't want to leave. It was a great time, so let's get into it and check out why. And guys, I keep forgetting to tell you, but I'm on Instagram. Are you following me on Instagram? Because if not, you guys really should be, because I did live stories the whole time we were on this ship and shared a bunch of fun stuff. I post photo inspiration for you weekly of different destinations, so go find me on Instagram as well. I would love to have you join me over there. The Norwegian Encore boasts world-class amenities. It's one of the largest German-built ships in the Norwegian fleet. As you can see in that picture, in that video there, that's a semi-truck driving by and it just dwarfs in comparison to the ship. It's huge. And one of the very first things I wanted to explore was one of the top decks with the pools and the water slides and the hot tubs, and we just had such an amazing time checking these out. Alright, so the pool area is kind of broken out into sections. You walk out the main doors and you have the main pool there, which can be used by anybody. And there's a bar right next to that pool. And then if you go past that pool, then there's kind of the kids section. You have the splash pad area with some smaller water slides with little life jackets that the kids can put on. There is another bar by that as well for the parents, so they can keep an eye on their kids while they have a drink maybe. There's a smaller pool right there that's more shallow. And then they have 2 giant water slides, and I'm really sad that I didn't get to check these out for you guys, like personally. I had my GoPro, I was ready to go in, even though it was New York City and it was about 40 degrees in November. I was gonna do it, but they weren't open. I guess they figured nobody would want to do that. And I didn't really want to, but I was gonna do it for you guys. So I didn't actually get to try those out. I believe one of them has like a drop floor, so you stand and then the floor drops and then you drop down the chute, which would be really cool. So you're just gonna have to go check it out for yourself and then comment below and let me know how it was. And then for the 18 and up, they have the Vibe Beach Club, and that's more of a sunbathing lounge. There's not actually a pool up there, but it's just tons of lounge chairs, and then they have this like shower misting section so that when you get hot, you can go on up in there and cool off, because you know, sunbathers, we don't really need to get in the pool and swim around. We just want to soak up the sun. And then they also have additional hot tubs up there, which are really nice. All of the hot tubs on this ship are along the outside of the ship, so you can have great views over the ocean wherever you're traveling to as you go along, which is really nice. Megan and I actually went up to the hot tub. I think it was 39 degrees that morning. And we were silly because we changed and then we were running up the stairs and up the other stairs and we were freezing our butts off. But there's actually a bathroom right by the hot tub, like personal bathrooms where you have more room to change if it is cold when you're on. I know this ship sometimes goes to Alaska and Canada, so pro tip, if you want to go in the hot tub, use the bathrooms right next to it to change. But other times it's Bahamas, Bermuda, Caribbean, so you're gonna be fine. But anyways, we had the hot tub all to ourselves. It was great. So don't shy away from going at odd hours, morning, night. The night views up there are beautiful. And in some of those cooler temperatures when others might shy away, you get the whole thing to yourself. Oh my goodness, guys, it is after 1 a.m. I just got back to my room. They had this, what was it? Silent disco party. Have you guys ever done it? It was so much fun. I don't even dance, but I danced. Hopefully I'm not on video anywhere. Has anybody ever heard of that before? I hadn't heard when other people in our party were like, we're gonna go to silent disco. I was very confused. So when you enter, they give you these headphones that light up, and I love it because typically when you're dancing, it's loud, and if you want to talk to your friends or order a drink at the bar, you have to yell. Here you don't. It's actually pretty funny, pretty comical, because you walk in, and if you don't have headphones, it's just a quiet room, except for everybody's singing along with the music, so you can hear them sing, but there's no music playing. Rock and roll. So if you want to order a drink at the bar, you just take your headphones off, speak at this level, order your drink, get your drink, put your headphones back on, and there you go. Another awesome thing about silent disco is there are more than one songs that you can listen to. So the room is divided out into quadrants. So if you're in one section and suddenly they start playing this song that you don't really like, that's okay. You just kind of walk over to this other section and suddenly you're in another decade. They broke them out by decades on the ship when we were there. So I think we had 80s, 90s, 2000s, and today. So you could kind of take your pick, which was a lot of fun. And then for me, it was especially great because I don't dance. Megan wanted to go, and I'm like, you know what, I'm 40. I'm just gonna go and dance like I just don't care. And so that's something great too. If there's anybody else out there like me, which I highly doubt, but if there is, silent disco is great for that because there are 4 different songs playing. So you miss a beat, you're kind of a little off rhythm, it doesn't matter. Silent disco was so much fun. And then they also have traditional dancing. After silent disco, it continued with traditional dancing where the music's pumping. And then after that, you can go, the local bar and grill is open 24 hours. So after the dance club closed down, you'd find everybody that was left on the dance floor heading up to the local bar and grill to get some fish and chips or pretzel bites or a burger or something to satisfy their stomachs before heading to bed. It was so much fun, such a good time. Do not miss out on that. All right, so Megan and I are heading to the buffet. I don't think I've ever been to a buffet at 1:45 a.m., so this is fun.
It's the first time for everything.
Oh yeah. And it's open 24/7, so why not?
Go on board.
Where are we going?
I think this is...
All right, the third thing I absolutely loved about the Norwegian Encore is the observation lounge. So the ship, about 2/3 of the ship on one level is just an entire observation lounge. So a lot of us, we don't have money for a balcony room or for even a window sometimes. So this lounge is perfect for everybody, but especially for you if you can't afford that extra upgrade. The whole thing is windows from end to end. The very front is floor to ceiling windows. It's gorgeous. There are chaise lounges, there are couches, there's hors d'oeuvres in there. If you get a little hungry, you can get a snack, some dessert, some coffee. They have a bar near the front. There was a piano in there and a dance floor. Nobody was playing the piano when we were there, but if they were, that would be absolutely beautiful. They even have like a bookshelf of books, so if you wanted to read something and you forgot to bring something, you can check those out. It was just one of my favorite places on the ship, and I think it's really special. I don't think a lot of other ships have this. Definitely a perk of the Encore. And again, don't be shy here. Visit in morning, noon, night, grab a glass of champagne and toast to the sunset. All right, so the fourth thing I absolutely loved about the Encore is the Speedway. They boast the largest speedway at sea, and they have a track that extends 13 feet over the edge of the ship itself. And we had so much fun here. There is an extra cost to enjoy this, unfortunately. You can buy a one-time pass, I believe, for $15, or I believe for your entire cruise you can enjoy it. I want to say it's around $200, but I'm not sure. I would pay for it at least once while you're here. We ended up going at night with the lights all lit up, and it was so exhilarating. I highly recommend going at night if you have the option because it was just so much fun. And you know, that competitive spirit comes out. 10 people race at a time, and so if you have a group, guys can all race together. But actually, it's a lot of fun. If somebody in your party doesn't want to race, they can actually go up to the viewing deck above it, and they have these guns there. So they have, you can shoot, you can like boost up somebody if you shoot them with this laser as they go by. And then on your steering wheel, you have this boost button. So once that lights up, if somebody shoots you, then you can actually push it and get ahead of somebody else, which is really kind of cool. So even if you don't want to pay, kids can go up there, adults can go up there. There are a bunch of grown men up there shooting away all night long and having a great time. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. That was so much fun.
Awesome.
Really brought out my competitive spirit.
Don't mess with Janet.
I got 3rd place. I'm pretty proud. Number 5 thing I loved about the Encore is the dining options. And before I go into the various types of food that they have on the ship, I want to give a shout out to my germaphobes. That's probably not a very nice name. They are so germ aware. So in the bathrooms, they have signs by the doors, the exit doors, that say, please open this door with like a paper towel, which we do, you know, and then we do the little stretch to throw it into the trash can. Anytime you go in to dine somewhere, they have hand sanitizer. They actually have entire washing stations. When you go to fill up your drink, like at the buffet, there's a sign that says, please don't reuse your glass. And so if that's an issue for you, you're going to love this ship. So on the Encore, you have some standard built-in options, and then you have a bunch of specialty extra options that do cost an additional charge. So we're going to start with the standard built-in options. If you like the buffet, which I know a lot of people think of when they think of cruising, then the Garden Cafe is the place to be. Garden Cafe has everything anybody could want. So if you are in a party of people that have multiple tastes, then this is going to be the place for you. They have pizza buffet, pasta buffet, they had an Indian, all kinds of ethnicities. So I parked myself at that Indian section because I love Indian food. I was not shy about filling my plate with that Indian food. They had desserts and ice cream. The wine station there was super fun, kind of like on tap, press it and have it pour out. That was a little fun option. And then at the buffet, they have one special day where they have the seafood extravaganza. And this made me so happy. 3 other people in my group, they humored me, but none of them ate seafood. Can you believe it? It's crazy. King crab legs, Alaskan king crab legs, are my absolute favorite thing. They had shrimp, and more shrimp. They had all kinds of yummy seafood. So if you enjoy seafood, do not miss the seafood extravaganza. It was definitely a food highlight.
I do need a bib. I need a bib. Look at all that seafood. Oh yeah.
And
I'm ready.
Okay, so the other restaurants that are included at no extra cost are the Local, which I mentioned. That one's open 24/7, has burgers and fish and chips and like a taco salad type thing. And then Taste and Savor. Taste and Savor actually are right across from each other on the ship, and they serve the same food. So I did an interview actually with one of the contractors of the ship. You can view that over on ID90 Travel's YouTube channel. It was special for them, so it's kind of like insider behind the scenes stuff. But anyways, Tyler is who I interviewed, and he said that you choose either Taste or Savor based on the view of the day. So depending on which side of the ship has the best view, that's going to determine which restaurant you want to eat at, because they serve this same exact food. And then actually my personal favorite of the included restaurants was the Manhattan one. I would have eaten here every night if I could have, if it were up to me, but I didn't really want to dine alone, so I went with the crowd on this. But we had a beautiful dining experience in the Manhattan room. Amazing service. Actually, the service throughout the ship was just so friendly, so welcoming. I got the surf and turf. It was perfection. And then they had this bread pudding, which so good. And if you want something extra special, then make a reservation at one of the other restaurants. They have Mexican, sushi, Italian, French, there's a steakhouse, so you do not want for options here. And they had this American grill, which was a lot of fun with old time kind of cars, and it was like a 50s diner kind of theme. They had license plates all over the tables, so definitely check that one out also. All right, so the 6th thing that I loved about the Encore was the Galaxy Pavilion. So this is the virtual reality room. I've never done virtual reality before, and we just had a blast. There is an extra cost for this as well, unfortunately. I believe it's about $8 a ride, they said. So it's kind of pricey. But if you just go and hang out and do one ride, 1 or 2, then it doesn't add up to be too much. And it's actually a lot of fun to watch other people. So even if you don't plan on spending any money, I'd still head down there and just check it out and see what everybody else is doing. My favorite ride was the Jurassic Park ride.
Oh my gosh, that virtual reality Jurassic Park. It's terrifying. We screamed, we laughed, we cried, we jumped.
They had one that was kind of like paragliding. I thought I would like that one, but I actually didn't. It made me feel a little sick, and so I would not spend my money on that one. And then the Descent is supposedly the scariest virtual reality ride that there is. Unfortunately, I didn't last long enough to be scared because I was shooting, and then I died. One guy was at it for like 15 minutes. He was so good. He just kept going to other levels, I guess. So Megan did it. She made it farther than I did. She said it was too scary for her. And then they had like race cars and all different kinds of things. Number 7 thing that I loved about the Encore is the laser tag. Okay, so laser tag, yeah, fine, that's okay. But no, this is just not your ordinary laser tag. This is a whole, it's like a movie set with like this giant snake and then these like ruins and all this. I was so excited to go and play laser tag here. And Megan and I had our appointment, like our scheduled time. It was 11 at night. It's gonna be a blast in the dark, and we went up there and they were closed. Oh, so we just went up to play laser tag. We had reservations and it's closed.
So we drink.
I was so sad, but it was super cold and the laser tag is actually out on the front of the ship. So I know with the wind, it was just freezing. People probably weren't showing up and they closed it down. But if you go on the ship and you do the laser tag, please comment below and let me know how amazing it was, because I'm super jealous and sad that I didn't get to do that. It looks like so much fun. There is an extra cost for the laser tag as well, I believe. I know, so many extra costs, but they're such cool things and it costs them a ton of money to build all of this stuff. It's nice to have the options, especially if you're like, have an extra day at sea or something. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys, the 8th thing that I loved about the Encore is the kids' spaces. Obviously, I didn't have kids with me at this time, but most of us, if we're going to be cruising, a lot of times if we have kids, we'll bring them along. And they had such cool places for them to hang out. They had 3 different sections, Guppies for the little ones, and then Splash Academy for the school age, and then the Entourage for the teen lounge. And the great thing that I absolutely loved that the guy said is if you are with another couple or something and one of you wants to go out on an excursion, you can actually still leave your kids at Splash Academy. They have these buzzers and they page you though when they need to go to the bathroom. So you need to have somebody there that can come and take your child to the bathroom. If you're there with another couple and you guys want to trade off days or times or something like that and help each other out, that is a really nice feature. For the teen lounge, once they've checked in once, they can just come and go as they please. So that's kind of nice for them to have a little bit of that freedom there. And then of course for the wee little ones, they all have a pager there as well for you to come and change diapers. They have another separate little area where you can nurse your baby. And it's just really, really well done. All right, and the 9th thing I loved was just all the bars and cafes and bakeries. So, I mean, yeah, you eat your regular meals, but then you're on a cruise ship. So of course you want to eat throughout the day as well. And where do you go? We went to the bake shop and got cupcakes. They have macarons. My daughter corrected me because most people call them macaroons, but apparently they're actually called macarons. Look it up. Fun fact. And then they have like so many bar options. So the brew house is super fun because they have so many beers on tap. And then they actually, I don't drink beer. I'm not a beer drinker. It's the one thing that I just can't really get into. But they had 2 cocktails on tap. And it was a cucumber something cocktail that I had, and it was so good. I don't know if they changed those out, but if you can get the cucumber one, I highly recommend it. And at the brew house, they also had like a photo booth where you could do the photo strips, and that was a lot of fun. Live music. They have a whole area on the side of the ship so you can see the views as you go by, where you can get drinks or lounge or some snacky foods. Ice cream shop where you could do that, of course, coffee, chocolate. And they also had, let's see, Megan loved whiskey, so she was happy to find out about the whiskey bar. I like mojitos. They had a mojito bar. They had just a regular kind of lounge area with live music and performances. All right, and the 10th thing I loved about the Encore was the arcade. Some of you may prefer the casino. Not really a casino girl. However, we had a blast at the arcade. Of course, those do cost a little extra as well. But oh my goodness, I had so much fun doing that little basketball game, and I always love air hockey. I would love to take somebody down at that. And then just the video games. Megan did, of course, Guitar Hero, and we just had a blast competing with each other. So don't miss out on that either. Definitely check out the arcades. They actually have 2. There's one down by the Entourage Teen Lounge, and that had some fun games in it, and then there's one up by the casino that has some more arcade options for you guys. All right, thanks for sticking around, guys. I do have a few more tips for you. Hope was with us, and she let us know that the fish on the floor, on the carpet, actually swim toward the front of the ship. So if you're feeling lost or you're coming out of your room and you don't remember which way to go, if you want to go toward the front of the ship, follow those fish. She's great. If you want to book a cruise, call her. She will hook you up with the right price, the right time, the right location. She's got it. She's at ID90 Travel, and I will put a link to their site and that phone number for cruises below. And then please don't go to the gym. They have a gym on board. It's actually a really nice gym. But we got over 17,000 steps a day just walking around the ship, and I would much rather be out and about exploring than stuck in some stinky, stuffy gym. And don't waste stomach space on salad at the buffet. What are people thinking? There's like 1,000,001 options of amazing food, and you're gonna choose salad? Don't do that. I know. You're trying to keep your figure, but you're walking, you're like dancing, dance the night away. That's an easier way to get rid of those calories and enjoy that amazing food that they have on board. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you next time.